Isaac. I'm here today at the UPS cafeteria, and we're going to go over how to survive cafeteria lunch. I know a lot of you guys work at cafeterias. I'm here with Tasha at Hilton today, and we're going to go over. So the first thing is Italian food. Now, Italian food, as you know, is a lot of carbs, a lot of fats, and a lot of very creamy sauces. So that's actually something you're going to want to avoid. Now, sometimes you can get some of their chickens, or they have their shrimps, and you can get it without all the pasta. Unfortunately, one thing you'll see is that a lot of times that shrimp over here, it looks like it's cooked in butter. And so you wouldn't want to just eat the shrimp. Otherwise, shrimp is a great source of protein. A chicken doesn't look too bad, though. You could have the chicken and mix it with something else. Especially, like, we'll go over to the salad bar. And Tasha told me that the chicken is not too tasty, it's a rubber. So what you can do is you could use the ingredients from the salad bar and just use some of the chicken on there, and that would taste a lot better. So of course you've got greens. When it comes to greens, the darker the green is actually the better. The lettuce doesn't have a whole lot of nutritional content to it, so I would go with either the spinach or the darker mixed greens. Broccoli is great. Any of the salads on the other side you're actually going to want to avoid, because they are mixed with macaroni and things like that. If you look really quick here at the drinks, you want to avoid pretty much any of these drinks because they're too sugary. You've got them all here. Mostly the water is what you're going to want to stick with. Here, you want to stay away from the bagels. But one thing that's interesting to note is they're having Passover week, and they have these very low-carb tortillas, whole wheat matzo. For a second. What you'll see on here is it's actually 4 grams of protein and 1 gram of sugar, so these are actually fairly low carb, 110 calories. These are actually something that I would recommend not just for Passover, but you could actually have on your own. Alright, come over here. Obviously you want to avoid over here any of the sodas. Even juices, fruit juices have a lot of sugar. One thing that we talked about was yogurt. So a lot of times people come and they look at yogurts, and this is a yogurt that Tasha was actually eating, and what she said she did was she was keeping the fruit at the bottom and she wasn't eating it. And notice this blueberry cream. Now the problem with this yogurt is 180 calories, 50 from fat, but the biggest thing is there's 24 grams of sugar for only 7 grams of protein. Now she asked me, can I just not eat the fruit at the bottom? We look at the ingredients, and the more ingredients there are in it, the higher it comes up on the list. So yes, it's got grade A milk, but then the second ingredient is cream, and that's what makes this such a high sugar yogurt. The second thing is sugar. It's got a lot of pure sugar in it, and that's mixed into the actual yogurt, not just the wild blueberries at the bottom. And you'll notice that it says fit for the gods. You might think that this is a healthy snack, but actually it's pretty much like a dessert. We also looked at the rest of the yogurts on here, and none of these were really great. I think the lowest we could find was about 14 grams on one of these. Like, this is a low-fat yogurt, and a lot of people ask me what's the difference between low-fat. Well, low-fat, this is a grade A pasteurized, low-fat milk is what they use, and then they added sugar, and it also has cornstarch, right? So they add whey protein in it artificially to increase the amount of protein you get, but still it's only coming at 7 grams for 32 grams of actual sugar. So you can see as a low-fat sugar, yes, it's not loaded with a lot of fat. There's only 2.5 grams, but it's a lot of sugar that is going to put weight on it. Especially if you're less active during the day, you have a desk job and you're sitting more, you're not going to have a lot of insulin sensitivity. You're not going to be using those sugars. So go over here, chips. You know, really looking at avoiding the chips because of the starchy carbohydrates. If you do want to have chips and you just can't live without them, after a workout it's better. We looked over here at what's called the chef's table, and the chef's table has this garlic crusted cod. You'll see that they do a whole plate, right? Sometimes it's not wise to take the whole plate. Like, there's this macaroni and cheese, right? So the macaroni and cheese is much too fattening. We're gonna want to stick with their cauliflower and their garlic custard, garlic cod. This is pretty much all fried food. Latasha said you can actually just get a turkey patty and maybe eat it with your salad. So you get the turkey patty, break it up, eat it with your salad. That's another way to get a good lean source of protein. Down over here, this is the vegetarian section. Obviously, this is probably a good place to get just vegetables. You have to be careful. Like, they have a barbecue burger, which is almost like a fake burger. I don't know too much about that myself. They really vary. Sometimes you get a good burger patty that's very lean, made with artificial things. Sometimes you don't. Over here, when it comes to the Asian food, honestly, Asian food has a lot of sauce, and I wouldn't really recommend the Asian food as a good way for fat loss. Things like the coconut shrimp, Tasha said is really good. You can see it's obviously it's deep fried and bad. last station we have here, which I think is great, is the Latin American station. And this is kind of like a Chipotle. One thing you want to keep in mind is that you don't want that whole wheat tortilla. You can get them to just make you a Mexican salad bowl. You're gonna put a lot of the ingredients, a lot of the chicken. Their chicken's probably pretty good and lean. And what you can do is you can take the chicken and you can put it into your salad as well over there. And those would be some good low carb options. So obviously, there's a lot of different options here, but that's really how you survive a cafeteria. So this is Isaac with Tasha, and we'll talk to you later.